big political story breaking tonight. The BJP-led NDA will face off against the opposition's India in next year's parliamentary elections. The 26-member grouping of opposition parties will be known as the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, or I.N.D.I.A. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi, while addressing a meeting of 38 NDA leaders, said that theirs was a time-tested alliance. The 38 members included the AIADMK, the Shiv Sena, the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP, Conrad Sangma's National People's Party, among others. Over close to two-thirds of these parties do not have a Lok Sabha presence. Meanwhile, opposition parties met in Bengaluru to chart out their strategy for 2024. Around a third of the 26 parties have zero Lok Sabha presence. In a joint statement, the parties have pledged to provide an alternative political, social and economic agenda.
आज देश के लोग 2024 चुनाव में फिर एक बार हमारी सरकार वापस लाने का मन बना चुके हैं, निर्णय ले चुके हैं। ऐसे में भारत की बदहाली के जिम्मेदार कुछ लोग अपनी दुकान खोलकर बैठ गए हैं।
The BJP government wants to destroy the democracy in this country, and also they want to destroy the constitution. They are using the autonomous bodies like CBI and ED. There is a grave situation. To save this situation, we have come together, and country is important for us.
Well, parallel meetings of the NDA and India. Joining me now, Payal Mehta, who's tracking the NDA meeting, and Harish Upadhya, who's tracking the opposition meeting. Payal, Harish, many thanks for joining us. NDA versus India. Payal, to you first. Parallel meetings taking place today. The Prime Minister has just spoken, talking about what he believes is this opportunistic alliance that's being cobbled together. What's the mood like in the NDA?
There are two visuals to watch out for, Shireen, as far as this is concerned. You know, when the Prime Minister walked in and he was greeted by the leaders standing over there, it was in contrast to what the opposition parties have been claiming, that the BJP is a party of only a few as well. You saw Nephew Rio there, one of the oldest chief ministers in the northeast region, EPS representing the south. You also had Jitenam Manji, who's representing the east, and of course Eknath Shinde also representing the west. And of course JP Nadda comes in from the north as well. So that's the complete picture that the NDA wanted to really portray, saying that we have presence all over the country and we are acceptable all over the country as well. There was a huge garlanding of the Prime Minister in the premises where the meeting is taking place, congratulating him for the kind of effort that has been made by his government over the last 9 years as well. So the larger message of the NDA is that, you know, we are united, we've been together. We are 38 parties. We've also given a lot of a sort of boost to the regional parties, in particular in the northeast, where nobody really focused. And we're trying to, you know, get inroads where we never really had. So for Tripura to get a government of the BJP after 25 years of left rule is an achievement. That's the BJP. That's what the BJP has been saying as well. It'll be interesting to see if the BJP also, or the NDA in fact, just comes up with a name like the opposition parties really came. It's pretty unlikely, but they are going to take some steps forward. They're probably going to form some smaller groups among themselves to see how to take this alliance forward as well. Because, you know, when the invitation was sent to these ally partners or these allies to come and join the meeting today, one thing was also mentioned over there, that the Prime Minister is going to be present and he will talk about the Vision 2047. Now, the Prime Minister time and again has told his party leaders and also his ministers that this is not a short-term government. This is not a government which is looking at the immediate electoral benefits. We are here to govern for a very long time, and that's why we need to be very, a visionary in terms of our approach, whether it's projects, whether it's people, whether it's welfare. So all of this is going to be reflective in the meeting. We're still waiting to get an official head on, an official confirmation on what exactly he said, because his address today at the NDA meeting as a leader of the NDA, as the head of the NDA, will be extremely important.
Yes, it certainly will be. Harish, I want to come to you. To the UPA has given way to India. And I have to say that as far as branding goes, it does have something about it. But what's the mood like in the opposition camp, and the statement that they've put out on putting together a cohesive alternative? What do you make of this first step of this exercise?
Well, remember, this is the second meeting, and everybody expected this opposition unit to go after some low-hanging fruits. They have done that by getting the name right. Now there are three major challenges. The immediate one, can these parties come together and have one stance, a consensus on what to do with UCC? Do they want to completely oppose it on the floor of the House if the BJP introduces it? Because remember, allies like VCK have actually put that demand today in this meeting, although it wasn't discussed. But two major challenges for this group. One is the leadership. The Congress seems to have opted out of it, saying that we are not interested in that PM seat if this group actually manages to gain majority. So who will be the leader? That's something they're saying we will discuss and decide in the coming few months. And they've formed a coordination committee, the names of which will be decided in the Mumbai meeting that will happen much later. But a bigger challenge really for this group is, can they have a good seat sharing arrangement? Because the thought process is to at least ensure that in 400 odd seats, you have only one candidate from this opposition group. But look at states like Kerala or in fact even West Bengal. All these places see Congress taking on its allies. For example, in Kerala, the Congress left and TMC are part of this opposition group. But they can they work together? Or in Kerala, is the Congress willing to give up some of its Lok Sabha seats and ask their sitting MPs to leave that seat for the LDF? That will be the real challenge for this opposition group.
Yes, many challenges on the road ahead, but these are just initial days, the first start towards 2024 in real earnest. Payal and Harish, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC-TV18 with your take on the two important political meetings of the day. Well, back to business now.